Hello guys, welcome to the new video tutorial on Angular. So in the last video tutorial, we guys have understand how we can route the elements at a programmatically without the router link as a directive. Well, this video when it comes to the routing is again really very important because in this video we are going to send a parameter to the routing, and for this to consume the time I have already designed our product and details components. Detail components is not a design but product components along with some values in an array, and we have represented in a cards like this. The next step I will explain how we are going to pass the parameters, but before to that I wanted to explain what is the meaning of routing with the parameters. Well, routing with the parameters is called as a dynamic routing, where we are going to add a one dynamic parameter to our route or to our URL, and depends on parameter we are going to represent that information on our web page, or we are going to process that information on our web page. So here to the routing means like to the routing URL we are going to pass a one single argument, or depends on logic it may be multiple of it. I will show you how we can able to works with that. So this is the product component that I have designed in my app.component file. This header along with routing parameters in div container fluid background dark and gradient and text center text white we have printed, and one more product component we got design and we have routed to the nothing as a path. Okay, I hope you guys have seen the videos, you may understood with this. And then I have created the array. Let me show you this. So this is the array in product component.ts, and for each array we guys are having product ID, then product name, price, description, quantity, is available, and image URL. So I have formed here 6 elements, and depends on the value of is available. If it is available, then these buttons we got enabled. As you guys can see, for the third product it's not available, so button got disabled. So this code we have written in our product array or the product component. You guys can see here. So this is the code, and using ng for we have printed all the array elements in a specific template. If you guys haven't watched that video how we can able to convert the array to the HTML template using structural directives ng4, you guys can check out our tutorial. There itself you will find that video. Well, the next step that I wanted to do here, when I have click on add to cards, it must be translate or it must be navigate to the details component. So details component also I already got created, and it's completely empty as you guys can see here. So it's completely empty, so we have to pass that argument to our details component with the product ID. As you guys can see, for each and every product I have different or unique product ID, and depends on this unique product ID we are going to show the details of product right there in our component file. And this is what exactly called as dynamic routing. This is what exactly called as passing parameters to the routing right there. And to perform this task, the very basic thing that I have to do is to pass that parameter on a button. So let me go to the product.component.html file, and here on this button, so add to cart or buy now, you can assign it to any one of it. So here you have to assign that router link. Before creating the router link, you should have to register that router link to the route array. So we already have this empty path, we are showing the product component, so I am going to create one more, and here you say path is what my details, and as I wanted to pass an argument to that detail, so I'm going to use slash and the name of argument. Let us say ID is my name of argument, or product ID as we having the name, so I'm going to write product ID is my name of argument. So you can write it, but to recognize these must be the argument to your route, you have to write colon before to that. Now let us say you have more than one parameters to write, again you can define colon slash and let us say the parameter name is product name, you can mention it like this. But again, if you wanted to add one more, so you can again mention colon slash and let us say description. But right now I'm going to use only one as an argument, so I'm going to remove this. And for this routing, I'm going to show my component. It must be a component, and which component I have to represent? I have to represent the details component. Well, in details component, the very basic thing that I have to do is to receive that ID. And to receive the ID, we have to pass that ID through the HTML. So let us go to the product component.html, and here I'm going to add the router link to my add button. And this router link must be what? It follows the path called as details slash, and we should have put the value of that product ID for each and every card of that array element. And to make sure about this, I'm going to use Angular interpolation, and I'm going to say product is my name of counter array variable dot which property I have to assign product array, or sorry, product ID. So for each and every card, these value must be different, which means if I'm starting at here, so you guys can see, let me write it to the hyperlink so that you guys can see it very well. So I'm going to convert them instead of button to the hyperlinks, and this one also to the hyperlink. So at the bottom, you guys can see left bottom of our, okay, it is not applicable for disabled. So let me remove this disabled icon. Alright, now you guys can see when I click on add to card at the bottom, that is bottom left of my screen right here, you guys can see it says details slash 1 because it belongs to the product ID 1. When I go to the next, so here you can see it is details hyphen 2. That is a dynamic parameter, and that is the reason it's called as a dynamic routing or passing parameter to the route. For third, this is 3. For fourth, this is for 6. This is 6. For fifth and for fourth, for each and every single icon or that buttons of a product, it represents with the dynamic value. Now, as I'm passing this value, so I have to receive that value to the details component, right? So I'm going to open the details.component.ts. Here, first I'm going to create two variables. Okay, one is my variable where I'm going to store this passing product ID. So I'm going to say this is product ID of any right now, and other variable is to extract the information from that array. So I'm going to say here selected product, that also belongs to variable in. Firstly, as I wanted to extract that information, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to initiate that we are going to first inject that activated URL route to our constructor of this details component. So I'm going to create a constructor here, an empty constructor, and I'm going to inject that service, okay, private, let us say this is route, and it must be from activated route. And inside this constructor, we are going to take the value of selected product, which means when this details component is going to load on a page, the value of selected product and product ID is already available, and I can able to show that information correctly. Now to do with that, so I'm going to say this dot my product ID. So first I'm extracting the product ID, and this product ID must be extracted by using this root object. So this root dot, you have the one property called as snapshot. So using the property, we can get that parameters, and to get that parameters right there, you have the property called as parameter map, and then get, and you can write the name of parameter that you have given into your route map. So I have given as my product ID. So same parameter I'm going to use here. Now we have that product ID, and we can able to show it right here. So let me save this and print it in a console. First, we are going to print this in a console just to be make sure whether it's going to be accurately formed or not. So I'm going to click on add to card and just go to the console here. So there are two changes that you guys have to be understand. So in a console, it represents null. Okay, there might be some spelling mistake. Let us check with that. So here I will go with my route one more time, and this same name I'm going to be copy from here and to the details.component here I'm going to paste it. Right, now let us try it back once. Right, now click on add to cart, and you guys can see we have this one available, and in the routing URL also, or the main URLs, the our component and slash with that value is going to came in. So we're able to build with this. Now the next step that we guys have to do is to extract all the array information. Okay, as we haven't done with the services part, so I haven't created any services to store the array. So I have stored that array right now to my product component.ts. What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this entire array, and we guys are going to paste it to our details component.ts. And after pasting this, I'm going to form the select array or select product from this array which matches with the given product ID. And to do that, so you can say this dot selected product equals to this main product, this products dot find. Okay, dot, you can use a method called find, and where I'm going to say x such that x dot id equals to this id. Okay, equals to this dot product id. So if it is matches, then that entire array element is now stores with the selected product. So we have our information which is there in a form of selected product, and let me show you this by printing in a console also. So I'm going to say console.log and this dot selected product. Now let us get back, and here you guys can see as we have passes 1. So in the console it's printing product ID 1, their name, price, description, quantity, everything is got printed in our console. Now we have to use this property and print that data right here. Now to do that, so I will get back to the HTML of details, and here I'm going to write div with the class, let us say container. I'm going to write some background colors and border to this. So I'm going to say border as border 3, and here I wanted to make them printed in a center, so I'm going to use the property called as text center. Well, next step, I'm going to create one more div to print my the images. So I'm going to say here again container, and this is bg white, and inside this image or inside this div we are going to form the image, and that source must be matches to our selected product. Okay, so selected product dot, what is that, image URL. So it is going to print that URL. Now let's do this. How does it will appear? So it appears like this. You can write some CSS to that later if you wish to. Then next to this is again one more div I am going to create with the class of container, and to this container I am going to write some background color after the CSS. Well, here I'm going to print all the data in paragraph. So let us say I wanted to print after this when it comes to the console, so I can print name, I can print description. So let us print that here one by one. So I'm going to say selected product dot name. So I'm going to utilize for description, again for price. Let us details item. So I'm going to say description, and I'm going to say price, and I'm going to use pipe for this currency pipe of INR. Right, so you guys can see we have product 1, description, and this one. Now let me add this container background color. So I'm going to go to the CSS, and here I'm going to say container adds background color lies B. Alright, fine, so it's working good. And now I'm going to write one more back button to get back to our main product. So here I'm going to say this button, okay, belongs to the class of button, let us say warning, and here I'm going to say get back. Right, so this is the button. So if you want, you can add the padding to this or margin to this, depends on your choice. So I'm going to say padding of 2. I wanted to add the margin, let us say margin of again. So from entire it is going to put a margin, and here instead of warning I think it will be big. Alright, so I'm going to assign some classes to this. Let us say width as 20. Okay, 25 is the same. Let us put it as 50. So this is the width. So when I click on get back, so I wanted to get back to my main file or the main thing of our HTML. So to write with this, you can write again one more attribute to that, and that attribute is again router link, and you can provide nothing because by default if it is not provided nothing, it will goes to the product array or that app component or that product page. Now let me show you this. I just click on get back, so we are at here, and this is how using the routing. Now I wanted to check the product 2 details, so I will get back here. So you guys can see you can provide the CSS to this images if you want. Then you can say get back. So again for product 3, so only product 3 can be shown. Again for product 5, so only product 5 can be shown, and in the URL also you guys can see depends on these value of our product ID, we are representing that details right there. And this is how simply you can able to perform and dynamic routing array or dynamic routing, that is what passing the parameters to the route in Angular on a very simplest mode. I hope you guys have understood this concept really very well. If you guys are really understood something, please give us the thumbs up and do share this video to the needful people. And if you are new to our channel, do subscribe to our channel for such kind of contents. Thanks for watching this video. We will meet up soon in the next video tutorial.